Now Motha is inside making breakfast. She said, hurry up and get done. I said, hey, time's wasting. I need to get this done for you. I got other things to do today, so I'm hoping to at least get this one sprinkler head done before she's ready. She's making me oatmeal waffles. Oh, they're good too. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, you can see that. Okay. So, you know, anything I take out, obviously I got to put back in, right? And because it's so low, I'm gonna have to come up with putting some other dirt around here too, if I can. Just got a little garden shovel here. Oh, good grief. It's one of those. I think it's one with a big, long head on it. This might take me a while. See how big this head is? Sometimes they just put it on a small riser, but I'm can you see that? I'm gonna have to dig it more. Whoever did this first, they got it too low and they thought, whatever, because the head is about yay long, and so when it pops up this high, about to here, and so whoever did it, they thought, it'll still work, you know. But then the grass grew over it, and it got so bad that you couldn't even see it when it went on, because this wouldn't pop up. This has a riser on it that pops up about yay far. You see, some don't have a pop up that far. It might have been just a flat type of head that in the good old days that went down inside the riser, and then the head was only maybe 3/4 of an inch tall. This one I think is real far, so this could take me a while to get this dug up. Good grief. I'm having a heck of a time because the grass roots are in my way. And they've got a lot of hard pan around here, around this part of the neck of the woods. So I'm hoping not to hit any big old rocks, you know. There's one right there. Look at that big rock. Look at that. Right next to a sprinkler head? Who would do such a thing? See, this is rocky soil, and then they put topsoil in here before they did the grass. See, there's another big rock. Generally, where your sprinkler heads are, you shouldn't really have big rocks in case you ever have to do something like this, you know. Okay, yeah, see, it's still going down. Still. Good grief. I was gonna leave the video camera on and Now I'm thinking I might have to turn it off so you don't keep watching the same thing. But hey, the thing is, whatever I'm doing, you may have to do the same thing. Okay, so I'm not doing anything different had I not have the video camera on. Know what I mean? I was trying to do this without making too much of a mess. And sometimes when you do sprinkler repairs, you just have to kind of got to do what you got to do. You know, could I leave it? I could have left it and not done anything, right? And just kept telling the sprinkler guys, hey, don't get this one. All this dead stuff would eventually be grass, and then they would just have to dig it down. But I thought, hey, how hard could it be to fix it and do it right? There's another big old rock. How hard could it be, I thought. Now I'm on a mission to get it done right. See that that riser could be only a little bit tall, and because it's so low, I'm gonna have to dig it that much lower, maybe to get the thing out all the way. Good Lord, look at that one. That's a lunker. Look at that. Oh, it's nice and breezy today. Once I get it to a certain point, I might be able to unscrew the head, you know. But if I don't get it down far enough and I have to keep digging like this, I'm gonna get all this dirt inside the pipe. Whenever you're working on stuff like this, once I get this, decide if I get this riser in or the coupling in, before I get all done, before I screw the sprinkler head back on, I'll turn the water on and flush it out, so there'll be a big geyser here. Because the last thing you want is a little piece of mud down inside there, and after you get all done thinking, yeah, I didn't get anything in there, I was careful, and then you turn the sprinkler back on when you're done and it's plugged up and it's not shooting out properly. Half of it's working, half of it's not working, you know. So that's why I always try to flush them out. Okay, that rock's far enough away. I think I'm okay with that one. Okay. And see how it's swiveling back and forth? That's because whoever put it on there put it on an elbow, and they did it that way. I don't know why, but they did. So I don't think it's not broken or anything, basically is what I'm saying. Oh yeah, okay. I see where the end is. Good grief. grief. They might not have a riser on here at all. This might just be a, they might have just screwed this on. Sometimes they have an elbow riser where it comes across and then up with just one bit of thread on there, you know? And if so, I'm gonna have to use the coupling. So that's why I got the couplings at the store. I wasn't sure if I was gonna need them or not, you know? So I'm thinking I should dig this out a little bit more. Okay. That's my weed puller. This thing works good too for pulling out weeds. This thing right here. Yesterday it was almost 100 degrees. Today feels good with this breeze. Hopefully this breeze is not affecting the video sound. There's another big old rock. When I put this back, I'm gonna have to find some extra dirt because I don't want those big rocks, those cobbles next to here, in case, you know, for the next person who may have to fix this years down the road. There's one more big one right there that I want to get. Oh, look at that. Whew. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna have to do this to the other one too, but I'm not gonna show you the other one. It's basically gonna be the same as this one. All right? Basically. Okay. Here's one more little rock. Bye bye, Mr. Rocky. Mr. Rocky. Oh, good Lord. See, they ran this way, then that way, then up. It's like some guys do stuff like that, even around the border. In case you ever get a sprinkler head pipe that breaks, it's not into your main pipe, it's off to the side. I think that's what their logic is. Okay, alright, so again, I guess it makes it easier to repair it because you can kind of move it around. Okay, alright, now I'm going to unscrew it. Okay, you still with me? I hope you are. Yeah, you're still with me. I'm looking at the camera. I'm just going to let it roll here. Let it roll, baby. Okay, so I got it now. Now I'm going to unscrew it. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So look at the top, and you're going to turn it to the left. And it's unscrewing nice. Okay. Like I say, not all sprinkler heads are like this. This one happens to be. See how tall it is? Look how tall it is. See there? Sometimes they're only this tall. It just depends. And so this has threads. I can't show it to you. And I don't think it's a kind that you can unscrew the thread like this adjustable riser piece. It's all the way at the bottom, and it's a piece that comes up like an elbow. It's got threads on female threads on this side screwing into another pipe, and then it's got the male threads like this coming up, and it's an all one piece. Okay, and there's just a little bit of water in there, not much, because I've got the sprinklers off. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my coupling, and I'm going to take that like that, and now I'm going to screw that in. Okay, but then I have to make a judgment on how much of this to cut off, because see, now this will screw onto that. Okay, and this is for 1/2-inch pipe, and most sprinkler heads are half. See, that's going to be way too high. Do you see what I mean? But for the sake of argument, I could use that, and now do that business, knowing that I'm going to have to lower it. Okay, and I could have just screwed that in like that. Okay, and that's kind of slick on these couplings nowadays, these threaded inside coupling. It's got a little thumb turn that you can kind of do that with. You don't have to make these so tight. You just have to make them snug. You don't have to overdo it, because you could mess up the threads under, down below. And it's not under pressure, so even if you're not 100% as tight as you think you should go, it's not really going to leak, because the only time water's coming out of here is when the sprinklers are turned on, and the water's going to come out this way. Okay, so I could screw this in, literally I could screw it in a little tighter, but I'm not going to. Okay, so now I've got to make a determination of where to put this, and good grief, it looks like I'm only going to have enough room. Here's the other one. I don't know if the next one's going to be the exact same or not. Probably. Only going to have enough room for just one little bit, and that's it. And maybe when they had these initially, they thought, oh, what are we going to do? It's a little too low. Put it in, it'll be fine. They'll dip the grass. They could have dipped the dirt down a little bit lower, let's say, before they installed the grass. And then when you put the grass in, usually it grows a little bit thicker. Anyways, so see, this is, if I have just one, I'm gonna see here. It looks like that's gonna be about right. If I just do one. Okay? If you have a question, I could do just two. If you had a question, you could cut off two, leave two, okay? And then put it back down there and see. And if you're like, son of a gun, yeah, I do need to go down a little bit, then I screw everything and cut off one more. You know what I mean? And since I've gone this far, I need to really look at that and see when that screws. See, also when I screw this in, I don't think I'm going to be on the threads all the way once it's tight. Let's see. Yeah, see there, the threads are showing by about a quarter inch, a good quarter inch, see? And so that's going to raise it up too. So I think that I'm going to be fine if I just have one. If I just have one, it's going to be up. It's almost going to be too high, you know. And if if it was slightly too high, you see, because it's on there, because I dug the dirt out a little bit, I can actually push this down a little bit as I'm recompacting it. And that's gonna make it just perfect. Now, what else could I have done had it been too high? Could I possibly cut this off by 3/8 of an inch and then put it back on? Yeah, probably. All right, so I've got my hacksaw. I've got my hacksaw here, and I was gonna see if I could cut this any other way. I wouldn't really suggest using a drywall knife and doing that. You could do it, you know, but yeah, I guess you can. I guess you can do it. I'm just gonna cut the top one off with this. Yeah, see, it's kind of hard to do that. But if that's all you have and you want to kind of saw it off, as long as you start it, then you can put the tip in there and work it and cut it off. Okay, but I'm not really gonna do that. I'm gonna get a little, how am I gonna do that? I thought I was gonna get a 2x4 out here. I don't know if she's got one. Let's just see if I can do it right here. And my hacksaw blade is dull. This thing is dull. I keep threatening to get a new blade at the store, and funny thing on that, you might think, I'll just get a hacksaw blade at the store, and you get one, and then you come home and it's the wrong length. But you know, there's different lengths. I think there's 2 different lengths of hacksaw blades, so I'm gonna have to remember this. Okay, that's like 10 1/4 inches. I'm not sure how long the other one is. The other one could be 12 inches. So I'm gonna have to remember that. Okay, so I'll see if I can't use that as my little. Yeah, see, this thing is so dull, but it'll cut. It will cut. It's taking longer because it's dull, and so I'm only cutting a little bit at a time. There. Okay. Now, what you want to do with this is I take a drywall knife and just kind of clean this out a little bit on there, and then you know, if you were crooked or something, you can do this business. You don't have to get it perfect. Okay, that's good enough. Now you see what's happening. The sun's coming out. And my video camera, for some reason, when it gets in the sun, I'm raising the legs. For some reason, it's been acting up. It doesn't like the sun. It does not like the sun very much. And I'm hoping you get the full Monty up here. Maybe I'll come over here and kind of hide the sun somewhat. What's that? Listen to that. Oh, that breeze feels good too. Okay, so here it is. That's it. Now, I could see, that's pretty tight. I'm not gonna go any further than hand tight. I can take a pair of pliers on there and tighten that a little bit more. But I'm thinking I'm good. Okay, and in fact, that's not even the one. That's not even the one I want. I want this one down here. Okay. So I got that one screwed on tight. And now I can take that and screw that in there. Okay. Have I shown you anything that would be so hard that you couldn't do it yourself? I don't think so. And the more you watch my videos, the more you'll see I can do it. An average Joe, you can do it. Okay, so I'm just snugging it. Remember, I wanted to get it down just a hair, but I think this is going to be perfect. I do. I actually do, and I'm not too concerned about a little bit of mud on the top, but hey. That was there from before, I think. And on most, you have a little screw tip at the top. So when it pops up, you see right there. When it pops up, if you want full flow, you would either tighten that or unscrew it a little bit. And it'll let the water come out further or lower. Okay, right there. Not all sprinklers are the same. There's so many different types nowadays. Okay, but these, I looked at these before and they seem to be fine when they're on. When you've got them out in the middle of a grass, you want them on full blast anyways. Okay, so I got that tight. And now I'm simply going to screw it on here. And know that no matter what I do, that's the height that it's going to be. Okay? And that's almost exactly where I want it. Now granted, that's at the top of this thick grass. You know, your grass is usually about 8 thick. And like I said, I can lower this by just moving it over, swiveling it over that way, and see, I got it just a hair lower now than right there. If I wanted it up, I could maybe lift up on it. You know, if this adjustment is not exact and that pipe is not the main pipe, it's off to the side. See, it went like that. And so if I wanted to lower that just a little bit, and if I couldn't get it low enough, I could dig the dirt down over on this side, and I can, so I could get it and push it down, push the whole pipe down. But if I push the pipe down now, then that gets this crooked. See, I want the head crooked. When it pops up, I want it as straight as it can go. Okay. All right. There. And there. See, I did it right there. Like this one is perfect right like that. So that's it. Now all I have to do is put my dirt back in here, and before I compact it too much, I'll look at this and try to decide if I want it just a hair lower or not. But I'm thinking that's really good right there. In fact, I'm gonna raise it up just a hair. And like I say, when the grass regrows on here, and once they retrim this is gonna be right about where it needed to be initially. All because of, hey, does size matter? Do a few inches matter? Well, in this case it does. Alright. Yes, it does matter sometimes. Okay. Now do I wanna put some of those big rocks? I want to put some of these big rocks back. If I wanted to, I could put this really big rock back there, right on the edge if I want, like that. And it's far enough away, and it's up kind of towards the top. To make it easy for somebody to dig out if they ever needed to. So I guess for the sake of it, I'll put a couple back in there. Just so I'm gonna have to find some extra dirt. And lucky for me, I've got a landscaped area where I dug out to fix some other stuff, and so I'm not gonna put all these big rocks in there. Okay. So look at that. You know, yeah, it's gonna take you a few minutes. It's gonna take you a few minutes. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But if this has been bothering you, and if you needed to raise a sprinkler head, this is how you can do it. If you have a different sprinkler head cap that I do, it might be slightly different, but the main kit and caboodle is going to be the same. You know, I've got some other sprinklers I got to adjust, and I'm hoping to be able to do that for her grass, because her grass is not square on the ends, it's oblong, all round, and some of it is going into the landscape bark area. If I can't get it adjusted right, and if I want, I can take the head off and get it where it's a different head. Take it to the hardware store, because like I say, not all of them are going to be like this one. Some you can adjust the head by turning it, twisting it, the arm when it comes up, and click, 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 click. But others don't work that way. You might have to get a 3/4, and a 3/4 can't be adjusted to a 5/8 or half. But another one, you can adjust it however you want. So you just have to take your old head, or maybe just the top portion unscrews, and you can take that to the store and get a different one. This kind doesn't work that way. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna find some more dirt and fill this area in the best I can. Call it good. Okay. Hey, I hope you learned something on this video, and I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Okay, I got her. Now, here, I wanted to finish up with a few different things. Now, if you had your gardener do that for you, don't you think he's going to charge you for that? I mean, he's going to have at least an hour of his time involved. He might want to charge you $35. But if he says, oh yeah, I'll fix it for nothing, great, ask him. Doesn't hurt to ask him, right? And it's still low, but the grass is going to have to grow in. I don't want to build this dirt up too high. Now, if you've got little bits of grass somewhere, you could transplant some grass bits if you dig it out of your main grass, let's say. Nah, I was going to do a little plug for you. Okay. You could take a plug of grass, and you could put it in there, you know, like that. See? And you know, I think I might end up doing that, because it might be better. See, we had a couple spots in the front yard that was low, and the gardener he had some top fill, and then he threw some seeds out, and now it's growing up, and it looks like it's going to be okay, but the seeds are not the exact same type of grass that this is, you know. So ultimately, always that little bit of grass is always going to look different. Now, sometimes you can see little bits of grass like that around, like it might look like a weed to you, on the outside where your landscaped area is, and you can pull out a couple pieces here and there. But see, I'm just gonna plug it. That's called a plug. See, and over a little bit of time. See, I'll have to do it. I'll show you when I'm done. How about that? Okay, I'm gonna spend a few minutes and do that around there. And it won't take long for this grass to catch on and to grow and to fill this area up. That's what I would do. It doesn't take but a few minutes. You saw it didn't take very long, right? Don't take the plugs out all in the same area, obviously. And I'm just using my weed puller to take a plug out. Okay, like that. See? There you go. There. All right, so I'll just continue on down, and then I'm gonna go in for breakfast before I fix the other sprinkler. I've got another one like that, and here's my goodie for that. This and my little extension. You've got to look for these at the store. I looked and looked and looked, and I thought, hey, I haven't needed one of these for years, and I couldn't find it. I had to look around in certain boxes at the store for about 10 minutes until I finally found it. And then usually this coupling is not going to be close to the sprinkler area. It might be next to your plumbing area where you've got all your white fittings, your elbows, your couplings, your plugs, your things, your T's and stuff like that. And that's where I found this, in a different area where I found these at the store. Now see this thing here? I can't use it anymore. This is just a throwaway piece now. Okay. All right. Okay. Stick around. I'll show you what this looks like in a minute. Okay, there you go. You see there? I just took some plugs of grass and put in there. I'm not concerned. I got it everywhere. That's going to grow in nicely. And you can just take that. You can just take that in your grass wherever. Take a little plug. Use your little weed puller. Okay. Take your plug out, just like I showed you. Yeah. Just like I showed you, okay? Well, that ends this video. I hope you learned something on here, and save yourself some money and start doing some things yourself around the house. Oh, man. That's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. And yes, next time after breakfast, I'm gonna come back here because it's nice and shady over here. The sun is not over here. And I've got to fix this, and I've got to install a bubbler. We've got a pipe here going to no man's land, and it's been attached like that for years. This thing was leaking. And I cut that out the other day. If you didn't watch that video, maybe you'll learn something on that. It's under landscaping or landscaping issues, drip irrigation, something like that on my YouTube channel. Go to my main YouTube channel page, click on playlists, and scroll down to landscape issues or drip irrigation. You'll find the stuff that I did before. You'll also find what I just did. And whenever I do an irrigation video and I got my camera around, I whip it out so that you can save more money around the house.